Wednesday's back with us, Metal Summoners. We're so happy to have you for the second half of our doubleheader this week. Thank you so much for tuning in last night. We had a great time, and we're going to continue the good times right now. As always, we are your Island of Misfit Toys. We've got Angel Alamo. We've got the real Psycho Steve. Bobby will be popping in and out because he's at Journey in Toto tonight, and I'm Jay. And we want to thank so much for our guest spending some time with us out of his evening tonight. KIX guitarist extraordinaire. We've got Ronnie Younkins with us tonight. Ronnie, thank you so much. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm feeling better. Sorry I missed you Monday night. I was laying on this bed for 2 days. Lord knows what I had. I didn't get a COVID test yet, but maybe I should tomorrow. I just laid here, and luckily I'm at a recovery house. So luckily the house manager brought me a bottle of water. I texted him. I said, "Can I have a bottle of water and some crackers?" So he brought me back to health. Thank God, and I'm here. So
No, absolutely, brother,
I'm
for
a little
sure.
green yet.
Oh, no, definitely.
All right.
So let's start right off with some upcoming fun that you've got going. In a couple of days, you've got a Blues Vulture show at Club 66 in Edgewood, which I know you've played a bunch of times. But talk a little bit about your upcoming show.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Like the club owner, his name's Dave Rhodey, and he gave me a shot at playing at his club. Like back when I was still living at the previous recovery house, he had contacted me, and I hadn't even thought really about going out to play. But he gave me an opportunity that I could not pass, and I got a hold of the guys, um, and I'm grateful that Richard and Clifford and Joe Manfrey are gonna be with me to play in the Blues Vultures. We've all played together before, so yeah, I'm just really grateful to be playing a show, and we've rehearsed a lot for it. And it's a good venue. It really is. And Dave's been really good to me the day before with the Blues Vultures, and he's got a nice PA, good stage. People like to go there. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna rock.
Absolutely, man,
Yeah.
100%. So you've had a little bit of time out of kicks right now, just to kind of get healthy and take care of some stuff. How are you feeling? Because the fans, ourselves, we definitely want to know. Like in this downtime of you out of kicks, how are you feeling?
I'm doing well. I'm an AA guy. I'm a 12-step program guy. I spent 6 months in a rehabilitation center, locked down, and I went to court a few times. I got in trouble with the law, and if that's what it took to get me where I'm at right now, that's what it took. It was a long time coming. I was sober and clean for 21 years. I was sober and clean up when I was 32. I stayed sober and clean all through, honest to God, all through my 30s, 40s, up until I was 54. Um, and so prescription drugs. I was on a hepatitis C treatment, the old kind. Some prescription drugs got me high, and quite a few other things were going on in my life at that time. And I relapsed. I went back out to hard drugs, then to alcohol, and for the last 10 years, I would go into rehab for a month or two, come out and only get, at the most I got 71 days once. Um, but that monkey was on my back pulling at me all the time. You could sneak another one. You could sneak another one. Well, it's always that first one that gets me drunk, high, whatever. It might not be that very first one, but it's going to happen. And it's going to happen
Sure.
within 2 weeks. It's going to happen in 2 months. It's going to happen. And it always did. And it usually happened within 3 months where I ended up in handcuffs and hauled off to jail again. Because and I say this only to help others recognize that if there is a problem, if you think you have a problem like I have and still do, if I'd ever pick up again, my counselor tells me if you do pick up, take your bottle, don't call your family, don't call anybody, just go, and that's it. Just either die from drinking or end up in jail for the rest of your life. Those are the two options I have. Neither one am I going to entertain by any means. And by this, um, I do everything that's been suggested to me with the 12-step program. I thank the judge for locking me down for 6 months because I can drive by a liquor store now and I don't crave a drink. I can, I'm very close to Baltimore where I used to go score hard drugs. I don't go there. I don't go to the liquor store. I know it's poison. I know it's going to ruin my life. And it's already, it has really affected everyone around me. That's the worst part of this disease that I have. It all lies between here. It's a disease, and it is. Um, they categorize it as disease. I mean, 5 definitions of the disease of its own. It's chronic, it's progressive, it's morbid, potentially fatal, and other diseases don't cause bad behaviors. This one does, and for me, it progressed to the point of after in the last 10 years of relapsing. I went to one rehabilitation center when I was 32, and I followed suggestions and stayed sober, I think, for 21 years. The last 10 years, it's been so bad. This is my fifth rehab that I've been to in 10 years.
Gotcha.
And I had to go to court quite a few times. And I thanked the judge. I thanked her for locking me down with an ankle bracelet. Uh, I was monitored to the rehabilitation center for 6 months, and I couldn't even step off the sidewalk out back. Um, but in that, I kept hearing everything over again, and new information. Like my counselor, I have a great counselor. His name's Jack, and he's been monumental in my mental health and recovery, as well as everyone at the rehabilitation center I went to. I'm still connected with everyone there. Everyone
Nice.
that I live with here is connected with those people. Those people, my people, our people, um, and so I just on a daily basis I do everything that I did at the rehab, and I still do it 24 hours a day. Um,
Awesome, man.
and when I get
That's
up
all.
in the morning, I start it all over again. So I have a daily reprieve. Yeah,
Absolutely,
I'm
man, for
grateful.
sure.
I'm very grateful. Gratitude is key as well.
Definitely. I mean, you got a lot of people out there too, from your fans, for example, that love you or wishing you so much well. I mean, we're big fans, and I'm also right outside of Baltimore too, man. So for whatever reason you ever feel like you got to reach out, dude, don't be shy. I'm more than
All
happy to say
right.
what's up, brother. I got you.
Thank you. I
Absolutely, man.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. No
Cool.
problem. For
Yeah.
sure, man. Steve, let's bring you in, my good dude. Why don't you take us on?
Okay. So we talked before coming on about club scene because, that's where you guys started. And you guys have gone bigger from the KIX to the Blues Vultures and everything. My question is, I've never known the answer to this. How did you get your nickname 1010? What does that mean?
It's a volume problem. um, I was always seemed to be the loudest in the band. When we started the band in Brian's um, little basement. Well, it was. When we started the band many, many moons ago, Um, we practiced in a little 10 by 10 area. Donnie and Brian and myself and Donnie, our original drummer. Um, and I think it was actually drummer named me that because every day just seemed to be really loud. I had an old Fender Super Amp. I couldn't fit well, I didn't have a Marshall yet. I couldn't afford one. I had an Ampeg V4 because I saw that's what the Stones used in 1974, so I got one. But I didn't feel like lugging that down the stairwell, so I had this Fender Super Amp, an old Tweed, and I cranked that thing. This amp actually went to 12. Luckily, he didn't know that, or my name would be 12, but it that wouldn't sound right. And but yeah, that's how I got my name because I turned it all the way up so it would sound good, you know. And my one of my idols, Joe Perry, I heard him say the same thing about the Marshalls. You got to turn it all the way up to get it to sound good. This is before the era of tube screamers and attenuators and all that stuff. But yeah, that's how I got my name from. I think the original drummer Donny named that. You say 10, 10, turn it down. I can't. It's the only way it sounds good. I'm gonna lose my ear here. Hold on. All right, it's back. But yeah, that's how I got my name. Um, that's it. Simple as that. It's a volume problem.
Awesome.
So
I don't see it
there
as
you
a
have it.
problem. I just thought it's freaking kick ass.
That's
I'm
not a
partially
bad
deaf
problem
anyway.
to have.
I'm partially deaf, where my ex-wife says
Sometimes
I
it
have
could be a
selective
problem.
hearing. So the louder, the better. You know, if you're
What?
exactly. If it's too
That's,
loud, you're too old.
Exactly.
oh,
You
absolutely.
got that.
Definitely. Keep rolling with it, Steve.
All right. So was guitar your first instrument?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was my first instrument. Um when I was 5 years old, I grew up on a farm. My dad always played country music down at the barn, and I was always with my dad. So I heard Johnny Cash, I heard Porter Wagner, I heard Buck Owens, I would hear Roy Clark, I would hear um, uh, whoever I didn't mention. But I heard country music and I love the sound of guitars. And I was like, wow. And then I had like this little plastic TV pal guitar had like colored strings and I'd make out I was playing it. But and then my uncle used to sing. Well, he played ukulele. He would sing and play ukulele for me. And I thought that was something else. Uh, and he gave me that ukulele. God bless him. And so, but when I was 7, um, I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan show, and that was it. You know, I had to have a real guitar then, and that started with the Melby book. No, actually, it was Alpha One, and
Nice.
yeah, so that's how I started out playing when I was a little kid, and um um you know just loved the Beatles, and then I saw the Stones and then it took off from there. Then the British invasion saw all those bands. A lot of them played on the Sullivan Show. Um, I saw the Doors on there. Did he get bleeped? I don't think he did, but yes, no, he didn't get bleeped. I forget. Oh, let's spend some time together. Instead of let's spend the night together, the Stones had to change the lyrics. They
No, hold on.
sorry about that. I had a call coming in.
Oh,
You
no
guys still
problem.
there?
Yep, we're
Totally
still
here.
here. Yep.
Oh crap!
can you still hear us?
Hello.
Yeah, we can
Yep.
still hear you.
We can hear you, Ronnie.
Hello.
We can hear
Yeah,
you. Can you hear us?
Ronnie, can you hear us, bro?
I can't hear you.
You
Turn off
can
your
hear us?
Bluetooth. Take your headphones and turn them off. Can you hear us now?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Steve, text him.
I'm going to.
Wait a minute. All right, I'll turn them off.
Turn him off.
Can you hear us now? Yes.
How are we doing, Ronnie? Can you hear us?
Okay.
Cool.
I still can't hear you.
You can't hear us?
I just texted him.
Okay. Hang tight with us, fans. We're just getting
I
everything
don't know what to
situated.
do, guys. I cannot hear you. I turned the headphones off.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. So
I'm telling him to reconnect the headphones.
All right.
Just want to say thanks, Joan. Thanks, Andrea, for helping out.
absolutely.
Because I don't know anything about technology.
It's all good. Well, it also depends, we don't really know what type of headphones he's using and stuff. So
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
Hello?
Hello. Can you
we
hear
can
us?
hear you.
We can hear you just fine.
Okay.
You think you could sign back in or sign back out?
Yeah, it's definitely
Hello?
possible. Can you
Yes,
hear us?
can you hear us?
Still not you.
Not yet.
I don't know what to do, guys.
Do you want to try hanging up and then coming back in?
Can somebody type that? Because he can't hear us.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Okay. Yep, and then I'll post your comment right away.
Okay, I'll call back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I want to say thank you to everyone for helping out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. We got you, fans. Yeah. No worries. But yeah, for all any fans that are just signing in with us and notice that Bobby's not with us, he's currently at the Journey and Toto show in Philadelphia at Wells Fargo Arena. So you've probably seen him going live a few times there. We're just going to get Ronnie connected back in us. So hang tight with us, fans.
Show off the KIX hat
with him about. So we'll keep everything going. Also, just other things that are
he's back.
Oh, we got him back. Cool.
Yep. Let's see now.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, Ronnie, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm back.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fantastic.
You missed Steve howling like a wolf.
So Ronnie,
howling off.
Howl at the moon. Bark at the moon.
I just watched the cat. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, bro.
I just watched a Cadillac Records Chess laying here on his bed for 2 days with Chess Records and Muddy Waters and Little Water and Howlin' Wolf.
Oh, nice!
What a great movie. He was scary. I mean, he did not like Muddy Waters, and he told him because I really don't like you, but they had some discussion about a band member, and it was interesting. But what a great movie. But anyway, Etta James, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
I apologize.
No, it's totally happens, man. It's rock and roll, Ronnie. You know the deal. It's not always going to be perfect, man. But right before we lost you, you were talking about like the Stones and the Beatles and the Doors. So here,
Yeah.
so talk. Why don't we kind of bring you back in on that and kind of like spin it off into like a new question? Are you like a Stones guy? Are you a Beatles guy? Do you side with one over the other?
Um, I really love them both. I must say I've learned more guitar parts from Keith Richards than but I was watching Get Back, and I have to say that um, I always feel that those George Harrison, John Lennon, like, are the my favorites, because those were the first two guys I actually saw play guitars on TV.
Nice.
Um, and so, in due respect, and I didn't know that John Lennon actually played the lead guitar lines on Get Back. Uh, but I must say that I've learned more Keith Richard guitar riffs and rhythms through the years. I've learned quite a few Beatles songs, but um, overall, I probably listen to the Stones more.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, we're getting the fans kind of situated because they've been pumping in a lot of love and a lot of questions. Before I kick it up to Angel, one more question, just kind of to start off about like the early days. Talk about getting involved with KIX and the shoes and how that came about.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you, and hopefully Steve's not listening, because he won't be. He hates he hates hearing me go into this whole thing. Steve, the singer from KIX. But I'll tell you, I used to follow when I was a teenager. I would follow bands that Jimmy, drummer Jimmy Chalfant, and bass player Donny Purnell were in bands that were always the best in the area, and I would always go see them play. And I always was like trying to get in their next band. Well, when I saw Break there when I was 20 years old, I called Donnie, and I asked him if we could get a band together. And I'd heard songs he played original songs in his previous band, which they were called Jacks, and there was two guys, a singer and a guitar player, uh, from Pittsburgh, and it was so I got together with Donnie and these two guys from Pittsburgh, and a drummer that we knew, and I think this first song I ever played with Donnie was Atomic Bombs, which is on our first record.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I know it was, um, and we took it from there. Those guys, we couldn't afford to keep them here in Maryland or PA, where Donnie lived. Um, they were from Pittsburgh. It was 150 miles, and that was a lot. We just didn't have the money, and we didn't have the place for them to live. It just didn't work out. Um, and I remember talking to Donnie on the phone one day, and he wanted to go work on the railroad. And I was like, when you're 20 years old, you're like, what? You're like, no. But I was living on a girlfriend's couch. He had a trailer to keep going, and so he was completely on his own. He goes, well, I have to get a job. I said, I know a guitar player, and it was Brian. So we ended up, and I knew Brian from my hometown, Frederick, Maryland. Um, I heard his bands. We knew each other. We'd been out to see each other's bands. So that's how we ended up in Brian's basement. And then we had Donnie, drummer named Donnie Spence, who played drums with us, and a singer from one of Donnie's previous bands, Terry, sang with us for the first couple of years found, until we found Terry made it known that he couldn't continue on. They had to get a real job. And then we found Steve, like, I don't know what year, 78. I always get the years mixed up. I think Donnie and I started playing together in December of 76, I think. or 77. Brian would know better than I, but I think it was the end of 76, honestly. Um, and then a couple years later, we got Steve and Jimmy in the band. That's how it started out. And I mean, we still played 3 sets a night. We played covers and threw our originals in between all the covers, and that's what we did. And we played a lot, and we played wherever and whenever we could. Um, and we we were together pretty much every day, um, learning new songs, working on originals, making tapes. Um, I knew this manager who managed a band called Face Dancer. They were a big Baltimore band,
Yeah.
and we played with them quite a few times. We would open for them, and their manager would come out and see us play, and he shopped our we had a cassette. He shopped the cassette around to record labels, and that's when Atlantic Records, their A&R guy, came to see us play, and that was in Maryland as well. He came down from New York to hear us in Maryland, and then we went to New York and auditioned at SIR Studio for the guys at Atlantic. We thought we bombed because they walked out after 3 songs.
Oh, jeez.
It was just like 3 suits, We're like scratching our head. But they came back in and told us that we were signed on to make our first record. So then we made our first record. I'll probably get this wrong too, but I think it was 1980 or 81. I forget. Somewhere around there.
Somewhere in those early days.
Yeah.
No,
Somewhere back
absolutely,
then.
bro. That's very
But
cool.
that's how it started.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude. That's really, really
Yeah.
cool. I love the idea of just kind of traveling around, supporting your friends, and just being curious about wanting to jam with guys, and then eventually having that happen. I think that's super duper cool, Ronnie, for sure, bro. Angel, let's bring you in, my good man.
Yes,
You're
thank
more
you.
than patient. How are you
Ooh,
doing?
thank
How
you.
are Ronnie's fans doing?
Awesome. A lot of love, Ronnie. Just a lot of fans wishing you well, saying, hey, if you need to talk, they're
Oh,
there
wow.
for you. Looks like a lot of people definitely coming out Saturday to support you and see you perform
Oh, that's
live.
great. That's good to hear.
So
Better practice.
I cannot say all the names because there's been over 200 comments. So,
Awesome.
but I got the questions. I'm able to get
Oh,
that down
thanks.
to a science. So I'm going to start out with Wilma and then go into Joan's question. Wilma wants to know, what guitarist would you most like to meet?
Well, would I like to meet? Who would I like to meet? That is a good question. Um, well, gosh, stump me. Well, I've met a few of my favorite guitar players. Um, and my ultimate favorite guitar player, may he rest in peace. I wouldn't be able to meet him. That would be Jimi Hendrix. Um, gosh, what can I say? Let me think. I would like to meet Gary Clark Jr. I think he's fantastic.
Nice.
Great selection.
What a great guitar player. On the
Just
scene, up and great songs, great voice. His guitar playing. I mean, every time I listen to him, I'm just like, where's my guitar? Do I really know how to play? Let me see. But
you
yeah, I
mentioned
mean,
you
go
mentioned
ahead.
him earlier. Have you ever met Keith Richards?
No,
Gotcha.
yeah, but I mean, what would I say? Hey man, can I borrow a smoke?
That's the perfect icebreaker.
You got a light? That's when he'd probably cut me off. No.
That's awesome.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to meet Keith Richards. What can I say? Hell yes.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Go ahead,
And-
Angel. It's all you, buddy.
And the second part to the question: any new recordings in the works?
Yes, absolutely. I've got 5 new songs I'm working on. I'm really happy with. But I'm starting them all over
Okay.
with a different drummer. I started them with a drummer a couple months back, and they were like demos, and I was really into it. But then I don't know what happened. Something weird happened between said drummer and myself. And but it was all a learning experience. I have the songs. I'm writing more songs, and yes, it's a priority. So I'm going to start them all over again. But yeah, I've got some ideas that I really can't wait to put all together.
So
Yes.
that brings me to Joan Chapman's question, which is, can we expect to hear anything new on Saturday's show?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately not. Uh, it was going to be some new stuff, but I had to change drummers in the last month, and it was enough for Joe to pick back up on all these songs he hadn't played. We hadn't played together in 2 years, since January before the pandemic hit. And Joe played with me then. And, you know, having said that, I told Joe, I said, thanks for allowing me to make that mistake. Um, with this other drummer, God bless him. And but yeah, no, Joan. Unfortunately, we're not going to be playing new songs this Saturday. Um, and but so, but the next time for sure.
Awesome. That's something to look
Yeah,
forward to.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man.
And Chat wants to know, do you have a name for your favorite guitar?
Um, I've never named my guitars. I've just something I never did. I don't know why. Um, I just have like my favorite guitar is a 71, a black, an old beat up black 71 Gibson Les Paul Custom. There's no paint left on it. I could call him Stressed Wood. I don't know. Yeah, Stressed Wood. That's the name of my guitar.
Bobby would have loved that one.
It's a good name.
You guys have all seen the guitar. If you've seen KIX, you've seen that
Oh,
black Les
abs-
Paul.
I know exactly what guitar you're talking about.
You know the guitar. And I wish I had the original picture of the shoes. We were called the Shoes in the first 2 years we together. I think we were called the Shoes even when Steve and Jimmy joined the band, started in the band. Um, I hate that name. Did you hear me say that? Yeah.
Nope.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. No. All right. But I did in an interview with the Beatles once. It was George Harrison said, "Well, we could have been called the Shoes." And I about fell off my chair and went, "Oh my God, you're kidding me." um, but what the hell was the question? I forgot. Oh
Do
gosh.
you have?
Stress. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the question was, do you name any of your guitars? And you said no until Stressed Wood.
Stress Wood. Yeah, that guitar. I had a picture of the shoes with uh, the old picture. I wish I had. Brian might have it with the original drummer Donny and Terry Brady. I had that black Les Paul, and I sold my '59 Les Paul Junior to buy that '71 Les Paul Custom. I just needed something with 2 pickups. I only had 2 guitars, Strat and a Les Paul Junior, and and I actually had a picture of it with the original hardware before it all rotted away.
Huh.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all gone, but all the hardware on it. So it's definitely Stress Wood with different pickups, different hardware, because it
Nice.
all just fell off.
Are you gonna be playing Stressed Wood on Saturday?
No, Stress Wood is at my home resting.
So it's Steve.
Yeah, Stress Wood is at home taking a break. Um, if I had it here with me, I would. But
For
yeah,
sure.
we've been practicing off and on at my home, and I'm grateful to be allowed to go there. I have to go there supervise the neighborhood. They don't like me at all, and because I've been like the town villain and the clown, and that's what alcohol. I mean, seriously, once again, going back into that whole thing, it was a nightmare, and sometimes I didn't. I would be in a blackout, and but I'm allowed to go there supervised and to my little jam room. First off, I'm grateful to get to go there to see my daughter Bianca, my
Absolutely.
son Ronson Keith, and Bianca is my daughter, Ronson Keith's my son, and my wife Ines. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. Plus, I get to go next door to my jam room and practice with Joe and Rich and Clifford. So um, there's been other guitars sitting around, and I just happened to grab those. So yeah,
Right on, man.
so I grab what I can get in the amount of time I can get in and get out with supervision, which is
Absolutely.
yeah, do what I gotta do.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely. Who do we have next up, Angel?
Well, definitely got a question. It's the same question that I had, so it's from me and Brian. Your craziest Hammerjack stories.
Whew.
Oh my God.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yes, it is. I hate to be the well. Um, my craziest is not very pretty in that um, mine was before I sober and cleaned up. Someone drugged me out of there one night, and I woke up in the basement of someone's home that I didn't know. And this is not a pretty story. I'd thrown up all over myself and other things that happened. And luckily, they happened to have a shower. I look around and there's some person. She goes, "So and so, the bartender brought you home last night." And I went, "Oh, okay." And so, may I use your shower? So I got cleaned up and I called a friend of mine. I said, "Can you come get me?" I said, "I'm not sure. Where am I?" And this person gave me a ride home. And it wasn't but about 6 months later did I end up in a rehabilitation center in Center City, Minnesota, Hazelden. And that's where I needed to be. So from there on out, 89 until closing, I was sober and clean every time I played Hammerjacks. So um, I guess the wildest was we had fun recording. We did Blow My Fuse there, a video, and I think Rock and Roll Overdose. Um, those were fun times, but I was sober and clean through all that. Um, so sorry to say, I never went other than that one night sitting at a bar, um, which I got drug out of. Um, I never left the backstage area to see what the other what everybody else was doing. Um, Plus, I was sober and clean through, like I said, from '89 on through until they closed. So I'm sure other people have better stories than I have to tell.
There's definitely some crazy stories out there. I was able to see recently an early cut of what will be Encore, the Hammerjacks documentary. So I was able to see the first cut of that documentary a couple of weeks ago, and it's they're really doing a great job with that documentary. There's a few things they still have to clean up before they release it officially, but it's an amazing documentary. So anybody who was a Hammerjack or was always curious about what Hammerjacks was about has definitely got some cool stuff to look forward to with the releasing of that documentary because it's very very cool for sure.
Oh my God, seriously.
Yeah.
I've been living under a rock.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No,
I didn't know
totally,
that.
Ronnie, for sure. Yeah, it's called
Wow.
Encore. It's the Hammerjacks documentary, and
Yeah.
it's very, very cool. And as you can imagine, you guys are all over it.
Okay. All right. We're good.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Absolutely.
We're all over something.
Definitely. Oh,
That's
you guys are
good.
all over
That's
plenty.
cool.
We'll definitely get into that for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Steve, go ahead, bud.
All right.
So, do you see yourself after this going back with KIX?
Oh, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't foresee that happening. I mean, really, why would they want me back? Honestly, they have given me chance after chance in the last 10 years, and I've failed to meet the requirements. And um, as we say in AA, never give up before the miracle. Well, I've got a lot of, I have a lot of blessings. I'm not in jail. Um, I went there for a little while, but I, I was honestly, I thought I would be in jail for a long time, and um, I'm grateful to be sitting here, um, and I'm grateful to get to see my family, my daughter Bianca, my son Ronson, and my wife. I'm grateful to be talking to you guys. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for the guys in the Blues Vultures. As far as KIX goes, um, I really don't foresee that ever happening. Honestly, I mean, never say never, but why would they? They've got a guy who's competent, who's a very good player. He's a friend of mine. He texted me yesterday. God bless him. And you know, he's um, um, he's doing a great job. So what can I say? I move on.
I get you. I get you. As also part of Steve's question, for stuff like M3, for example, that of course you guys are a huge part of, being that Friday has taken over as the kicks off for that event. Whether it be Kicks Miss or M3 with the kicks off, could you maybe possibly see yourself making some sporadic appearances, let's say, even if it's not full on playing with the band again? Could you maybe see making some sporadic appearances?
Um, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't see that happening.
Okay,
Honestly,
no problem.
yeah. I mean, I just don't.
Sure, totally
I know
cool.
I know the guys too well, and it's cut and dry. It's
I got you,
either
brother.
or. Yeah.
No, and we got you,
Well, I
dude.
appreciate you asking.
Yeah. No, of course, man. We love you and we support you, and we're here with you, man. We got you, and we're happy to have you on the show. Thank you for the kind words of being, like you just said, being happy to be sitting here with us, because we're happy to be sitting
Yeah.
here with you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Steve, let's jump it back over to you, bro.
What kind of guitar are you playing right now, and what year is it?
Oh man, this, my friend, you're gonna laugh. No, don't laugh. I love this guitar. It's a Squire,
Squire. All right.
and I don't know, it's a Bullet. I found it at Bill's Music House, and it was like $130. And I couldn't put it down, and it's been sitting around in here, and I just pick it up all the time to play it. But yeah, it's a very cool looking Squire. It's a Bullet, and it plays great. Just I got to put a tone pot in, and the pickups. I'll change at least the treble pickup. But yeah, it's a nice Squire. So
Nice.
I have a thing for cheap guitars. I really do. Um, like I just do. I've got quite a few cheap guitars, and even like the old now they are expensive cheap guitars, like the old Silvertones and stuff. I have a couple of those, and I like those as well. And Epiphones, like my very first electric was an Epiphone made in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and like a dumbass, I got rid of it, traded it on a Gibson, a Gibson Melody Maker that wouldn't stay in tune. I went back to get my guitar back, and the guy had sold it. I was like heartbroken. But it was but I have another one. It hangs at home, and what was an inexpensive guitar is now not an expensive. It's a very expensive guitar, but I use it at practice, and um, it's a cool guitar. They're Crestwood Customs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with. I don't have one here. I had one. I have like I'm obsessed with them. I have like five of them. I have a Pacific Green. It's a 1965. Well, the red, cherry red is my main one because that's what I had when I was when I didn't get an electric till I was 14. I started playing acoustic when I was 8,
Oh,
and
nice.
but I couldn't get an electric until when I was just turned 14, and it was an Epiphone Crestwood Custom. Um, but I have three of them. I have a red one, cherry red, and I have a Pacific green. That is so cool, and a white one. They're all 65s, and then I have like a couple reissues. Um, and I left it at my house. I thought I was going back for rehearsal today, but I was very ill, and the guys were like, "Hold on, uh, make sure we don't want to catch anything, you know." So I didn't get to pick it up, or I'd show you what they look like. They're very cool guitars. They're semi. They're about the thickness of a Stratocaster, and they're beveled in the back, and then they have a tremolo and two mini humbuckers. It's very cool guitar. I love them. And but yeah, so this
Nice.
is a Squire to answer your question, and this Squire rocks. So
No, that's really cool. I love the fact that you brought up Silvertone. My ride or die like road dog bass that's been my favorite thing in
oh,
the world is a Silvertone. It's an LB11. I love it to death. Her name is
uh-huh.
Lizzie. I,
Yes. You name yours.
oh yeah.
Okay.
I call her Lizzie. That's my girl, man. It's my favorite bass of all the basses that I have and that I play. It's been so good to me, and it 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 squeals, man. I love that thing.
Oh
So the fact
yeah.
that you're like, I love I love Silvertones. I'm sitting there going like, yes, me too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's
Um
super duper cool.
yeah, my where is it? Right here. Here's my this is my Silvertone on the front of the cheap guitars honky
Hold on
tonk bar
one
seats.
second. Let me do a little close up, little extreme
Yeah.
close up. Oh, I don't want to see that face. There we
Extreme.
go.
Oh,
That
nice.
that's my Olympic. That's a 68. Oh, I mean a Hornet. I'm sorry. There's my Hornet. That's my one of my Silvertones right there. That's a Hornet. That's solid body. Then the other one's the semi hollow body kind of chipboard guitar. You know, I'm talking about the lipstick pickups. That's got a lipstick. But yeah,
Nice.
that baby screams. I love them.
Oh, that's sick. So,
Yeah.
I actually got messaged a question for you, Ronnie,
All right.
that I wanted to ask you from a fan. It's from our good friend Ricky Layton, who's been around the scene forever. He's a very dear friend of mine. He actually is curious. Have you talked with Donny Purnell recently? And if would you guys consider doing something together if something like that would be a possibility?
Um, well, no, I haven't talked to him since last time I talked to him was I was living out in LA, and
Oh,
my God, that's a long time ago. It's 20 years ago, and it was like we stayed in touch after the band split up for 8 years. Um, and but I haven't talked to him in a long since then. Really,
Gotcha.
he I don't know. He doesn't like us very much.
I got
But I
you.
have the utmost. Listen, I have the utmost respect for him and as a songwriter. And what can I say? I
Yeah,
love the guy. You know, there was times he couldn't stand me. There's times I couldn't stand him. But hey, that's all part of rock and roll and being in a band together. What are you gonna do? The but for out of 100 different things he get us to try, 50 of them didn't work. The 50 that did were fucking great. Excuse my language, but they were.
yeah,
And if you don't try it, you don't know. And he knew how to bring the best out of each one of us. He really did. He wrote a bunch of great songs. Um, Wherever he is, I wish him well. And I have nothing. I just wish him the best. What can I say? Um, I don't know that our paths will ever cross. I doubt. I don't think they will. Really.
gotcha, man. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it. I know that Ricky appreciates you answering his question, and yeah, this is always we built this show very strictly around like respect. We always want our guests to feel very good. Their your opinion and what everything that you want to speak on
Okay.
is completely is completely warranted here. I mean, you're allowed to speak about anything you want. You can be, brutally honest about anything. If there's something you feel you don't really want to touch on, that's okay too. You never have to worry about that from us. So, we
Okay.
definitely appreciate you, being down to answer the questions for sure, man.
All right. Cool.
Absolutely. Angel, let's kick it back down to you and some more fan questions.
Thank you. That was so cool because I was just getting to the last fan question before we got cut off. Okay. Questions from Lisa. She wants to know how many guitars do you have?
Well, um, I have. Here's the thing. I'm getting very soon. I am to get back a whole bunch of guitars from Mark Schenker, the bass player from the KIX band. Um, Recently, I've been ridiculed about this, but I'm used to that. Um, I got a tough skin. Um, I Mark has 30 of my guitars. God bless him. He got them out of he got 37 of them and some amplifiers out of Hawk 4 years ago when I was really strung out. And I mean, but once I get them back on like 100 guitars, 50 really expensive guitars, and then 50 cheap guitars, but good ones,
Yeah, can't forget
50
that one.
good cheap guitars. I
Yeah.
don't just buy a cheap guitar. I have to pick it up and go, hey, this thing plays pretty good. So yeah, and he will be seeing me soon.
Cool.
Yep. And God bless him for doing that, or they'd all been gone.
Mm.
Just like I was gone. Everything would have been gone. But uh, excuse me, I'm hearing weird noises here. Okay. Um, okay. I'm hearing things. But yeah, so that's the answer to that question.
Cool.
100.
Number. And question from Teresa. She wants to know what has been your favorite gift given to you by a fan?
A favorite gift? Oh, oh
Interesting
my
question.
God.
Hmm,
I like
Um,
that question.
Me too.
me three.
um, I would have to say encouragement, just like I'm getting tonight from a bunch
Awesome.
of fans. But uh, encouragement, really, because fans could give me an item. I don't know that I'm always going to remember where I put that item, but I'll remember something someone says to me. Um, yeah, so, and I've had people and fans, wish me the best, and encourage me in what I'm doing with the Blues Vultures and with just like straight ahead rock and roll. Yes.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Okay, we get to the next one. Um, my my question to you is, from the catalog that you've done musically, do you have a favorite song that really defines your guitar playing? Um,
hmm.
because on that
Oh,
last record, I fucking love that last album that you did with KIX. I mean,
oh, Rock Your Face Off?
yep,
Yeah.
Oh wow. Thank you. Um
love me with your top
Brian
down gets me
Brian
in a
was
lot
a
of
big
trouble.
Brian was a big part of that, turning those songs around. I was like finishing a Blues Vulture CD, and he really come he stepped up to bat with that whole record. I just he blew me away. Um, yeah, there's great playing on that record. One of the songs that I don't know, just I would have to say of all the songs, it would have to be Atomic Bombs. Just
Nice.
because I grabbed a guitar, I didn't think about it, I just played it, and that's the way it came out. Um, with a Stratocaster. Stratocaster is not even, one of my main guitars. I love Strats. I mean, I've always played them, but yeah, Atomic Bombs. Yeah.
Uh, I just want to share this comment that came from a fan, Aaron Brown. Ronnie gave me the gift of inspiration while I was in a halfway house one time. I'll always remember that.
Oh,
Thank you.
wow.
Aaron, that's awesome, brother.
That is awesome.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting.
Yeah.
And thank you for looking after Ronnie. Like he
Yeah.
looked after
Thanks.
you. Like, that's very, very cool, Aaron. Thank you.
Yeah. That is very cool. That helps me as I sit in one.
Yeah, well, back to J.N. Motley.
Comes
Yeah,
around, goes.
totally. Yep. Motley's doing his thing. Yeah. So I want to take it back a little bit again. When in the 80s, when MTV was really popping off, all of us rock and metal people, we also had the gift of Headbangers Ball that KIX had plenty of appearances on, both in the studio and on the show.
Yeah.
What do you remember about, the first time you saw KIX videos on TV, or do you also remember the first time you heard like a KIX song on the radio?
Um, I remember it being a good time because I could remember it. I was sober and clean when Headbangers Ball was out, and um, yeah, I remember watching it on TV. It came on. I think Brian and well, I know Brian and Steve and Brian were on. Um, I just thought it was um, a great way for bands to get played and to be seen. And uh, we knew Ricky Rackman from going to the Cat House in LA. Um, this is prior to me sobering up, like a couple years before. I remember one time I went there with some friends, and when we left, Ricky goes, "You KIX guys, you can come back, but don't ever bring your friends."
Jeez.
I won't name who they were. It was a band. Some of us know. It was a crazy night. What can I say? But I can remember. Yeah, Ricky. Yeah, he played a lot of music for everybody and got us all to be seen. And yeah, what can I say? Great guy. Good show.
Nice. That's
Yeah, man.
that's awesome. And as like a follow as and like a follow up to that, when KIX restarted, after you guys had taken your break for a while and hadn't been playing, um, from the stories that were told, is that it really kind of got going at Rocklahoma, like in the rain, where
Yes.
I had heard that you guys, you were excited to be playing again. You were excited for the crowd that you were going to have, but it sounded like you really got an amazing reception. What do you remember about playing that show?
I remember being in a trailer, a tornado magnet, um, backstage, wondering if we're going to play or not. I remember getting there and it was sunny and we're going. It's what part of Oklahoma? Is that where the heck is that? Is that
Pryor.
Oklahoma?
It's called
Yeah,
Pryor, Oklahoma.
yeah.
It's right outside of
So
Oklahoma.
yeah, and I was still sober and clean then. Um, but I remember going there. It was sunny out, and then Steve came with our agent, and I think they started seeing a dark cloud move in because I think Steve made a joke about there's the KIX cloud. We always said we had a cloud overhead of us, but you hadn't been there. Uh, but when they got there, the torrential downpour and the winds of 60 miles an hour came through, and actually they were prepared. I mean, the big stage that we played on had a whole front dome that came down and shut, and that came down, and um, but the two side stages collapsed. Um, I think one person got hurt, unfortunately. No one got killed. Then the rains kept coming in. I just remember being in this trailer thinking, oh, yeah, so I've heard these trailers go up really quick with tornadoes. Tornadoes were within, oh, they had on the computer screens we'd seen that tornadoes were in all the outlying areas. Um, However, I saw some amazing lightning, and um, um, but we shared a trailer with George Lynch, and he had taken my practice amp, and I went to practice amp. I get there, George Lynch is in the back practicing, playing some great blues, and I was like, okay, you get to keep the amp, you win. Um, but he never even came out once to see what was going on. He just kept playing. Um, so that I remember that we shared the trailer with George, and he played great blues the whole way through it. It was awesome. But yeah, so that's what happened. Then we went on late, a little later. I think we were the first band to start. One of the bands, forget who it was, unfortunately got cut a few songs as the rains came, as the winds came, and then everything shut down. Um, but yeah, so we went out and played, and it was still raining. Everyone was there, and it was a good time for all. And yeah, so I remember that vividly, and everyone lived through it, thank God.
Absolutely.
Interesting day.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely, for sure. And
Hmm.
one other thing too for here, before you'd step down from Kicks for the time being, a lot of not only with Kicks but also with a lot of bands where anniversary albums are becoming very, very big, exciting tours over the last like few years, like taking COVID just kind of out of the equation
Oh
because
yeah.
we all kind of know that we've bands have almost kind of been on like a 2 year vacation, but you know in the last 5 to 10 years, anniversary album tours have become quite a thing. And you guys did it, of course, for Blow My Fuse and most recently with like Midnight Dynamite. Before you had stepped down from Kicks, what was it like, really exploring some of those songs that you hadn't played in a while and really getting to play some of those deep, deep cuts live again?
It was I enjoyed it actually. I got to relearn riffs I hadn't played for a long time, and I also re-recorded the solo to Scarlet Fever, and I really poured my heart and soul into that. And it was gosh, it was in the summer of 2020. Yeah, it was and yeah, so I redid the solo, and um, I had a good time doing that. I got to record that with Brad Divins, and he this goes back a ways. Brad took my place. I mean, my addiction, um, you know, cost me. Well, it's cost me my job now. It's cost me a record. The second record I didn't play on because of it way back when I was 24 years old. Um, just I just didn't know that it was going to get ugly. Like I started drinking and using when I was 14.
Mm,
It might have been fun for a while, but then it got really ugly by the time I was 24. We did our first record. We did a tour of first record on the West Coast. Played wherever we usually play. Did that whole thing, and we started making demos for the second record. And I was showing up a half hour late to practice, having been up all night. I wasn't playing very well, and the guys got tired of it, so they booted me out of the band. And Brad took my place for about 6 months. I left, and um, so that was during 1982. And um, but yeah, when I was yeah, that was I didn't know about AA then. I didn't know about recovery then. I um, I got off the hard stuff, and I was on the marijuana booze maintenance plan then for a few years until
gotcha.
the hard stuff came back into play. So I'm a cross addicted. I can't have anything stronger than a cup of coffee and a cigarette, really. Well, I can't, and um, and I know that. And um, but then I didn't know. I'd heard about AA and all that when I was about 26 years old. But I didn't meet that program until I was 32 when I went to Hazelden in the Center City, Minnesota, uh, January of 1989. And it was 25 below zero, and I wasn't going to go anywhere.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the management knew that. Put his ass on a plane, send him to Minnesota. He'll stay, I guarantee you. Yeah.
shoot. Just,
And
just putting
I
you out,
did.
just sticking
And
you
I
out in
did.
the Arctic.
And I'm glad that I did because the first week I was there, was a real pain in everybody's ass. And then I finally listened up. Two guys chewed me, just told me off, said, listen up, you're not going anywhere. You might as well pay attention, or we're going to kick your ass out. And I started listening up, and then the spirit of the whole place just started connecting with me. And I just like totally changed my whole way of thinking. And that's what it's all about.
Sure.
Changing what's between these two ears it's all about changing what I think, the way I feel, and how I behave. Yep.
Absolutely. But that's also where, the encouragement, comes into play and, having that love and support too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've been inspired by musicians who've been doing this. I mean, guys from Aerosmith have been a big inspiration to me. Many uh, performers. I mean, you just can't keep going, keeping on. If you're like me, a person who doesn't know how to stop or when to stop, um, some people can do whatever they do in moderation, I guess. But I don't know the meaning of it. Like, it just doesn't register. So, for me, it's just nothing. And I'm grateful to say that on February 28th, I'll have 1 year of continuous sobriety. and for that I'm very grateful.
That's
1 year, the
awesome.
first time I've had 1 year since my 21 years sobriety,
Oh,
and
hell yeah, Ronnie. Well, congratulations, brother.
thank
And
you,
absolutely. And we are very,
thank you.
very honored, man, to be celebrating that with you.
Yes. Yes,
Yes,
we
on the
are.
28th, next week, and my sponsor, my AA sponsor goes, he goes, you mean all in a row? He goes, 12 months all in a row? He'll say to me, I think, yes, all in a row, Terry. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that. My God. Oh, Lord.
All the more
I
reason.
feel better.
Mhm.
I feel better. And the thing is, if I can try to help somebody else, I gotta give it away to keep it. And that's what it's all about. Some people did that for me more than once, and that includes both band. Oh, that includes my daughter, my wife, my kids. Includes the bands and everybody close to me, and the people at the facility I was at, um, and a 12-step program that was been given to us back in 1935 that still works today for millions and millions.
Absolutely.
And
All the more reason
yeah,
too
man.
to celebrate on Saturday night, man, to really
Oh,
throw it down.
absolutely.
It's like an anniversary concert for you, man.
Absolutely. That means
Definitely.
I get to turn it up a little bit louder. Yep, I
Absolutely. We'll
will.
we'll we'll ma- we'll make you 11-11 that day.
Okay, I'm
we'll,
allowed.
we'll turn it up one louder.
Okay,
Steve, let's
absolutely.
let's bring you back in, buddy.
All right.
So I'm going to go back to when record deals were existing and people got deals and they got something called an advance. Of course, uh, at the time, you guys were breaking out and breaking records and, selling out and playing these big, you went from clubs to arenas. First thing I want to know is like when you got your first like royalty check or your publishing check, where did you buy?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
please.
I, I'm I'm buying back my guitars from Mark. That'll be my first lump sum of money that I get ever
Wow.
from royalties. There's been none.
Wow.
And I would do the math. Um, I don't know if I can. Well, what the hell? Yeah, we record advance. We never really took any money. We used it to make our first record um, at Atlantic Studios. We made KIX, the first album with Atomic Bombs and The Itch and Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. Um, that record, by the way, we played together in the studio. Donnie was over across from me. Brian was back in the corner. Jimmy's over playing his drums in the booth. Steve was in the booth. And we tracked, I think, pretty much every song like that. Maybe one we did. Might have been Steve's song. But we tracked. We played all the basic tracks together, and then we went in and did overdubs. I'm proud to say that was pretty cool. Anyway, we didn't ever take money, let's say, in our hands from the record company. We used it to make a record. That record we made in 30 days, which is pretty good. And um, we turned all levels to 10 and beyond. Our the Tom Allen was our producer. He was great. Oh, I think we'll turn that up even louder. So I love that guy. He was awesome. Um, the we just solely lived off of playing live. Every club that we ever played, we went back to, and um, I mean, and it was a long time before we ever even went to an arena. But I mean, we did like locally, we'd get asked to play like at the Baltimore Civic Center opening for, um, like I remember we opened there after the first record for like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. Played with Def Leppard there. Oh gosh, maybe Ted Nugent. Yeah, I know we played with Nugent a couple times. But anyway, my point is we always went back to playing the places we always played, except for Hillbilly Zeke's. That was one of our first gigs. That one we didn't go back to. All right, let's exclude that. Um, that was in West Virginia, West Virginia. That was one of our first gigs to get started. Um, but we got a good picture there. That was the picture I was talking about earlier with me and the old Les Paul, the Stress Wood, and but honestly, we never got over that breaking point. Um, I would venture to say that with all the records that we made, we might have sold 2.5 million records altogether collectively. Blow My Fuse selling them, going platinum, and then with all the other records. But that you almost have to sell. You almost have to make at least sell like 5 million until you pay the record company back. Then you start to see your royalties. Um, I know a couple people that have, um, and I know a couple people who have far exceeded that to the point of, making millions and millions consistent. Well, yeah, making a lot of money. But for us, that never happened. Sorry to say, but I never once saw a royalty check. I never. I solely played, lived off of what I earned playing live, and thanks to a company called Sound Exchange, there have been uh, some. There's been justice done in the last 10 years, and due to that, I'm gonna get a little bit of money to get my guitars back, and that's pretty much it for me. Um, but yeah, the whole record company thing, it. I mean, you guys might know this. I mean, 13 cents on a dollar to go far. Some bands got 16 cents. Some get 20. Um, that's to the band, and that out of the rest goes to the company.
Mhm.
And the 13 cents that we got, we had to pay back producers, uh, videos. We had to pay back if we borrowed money for a tour bus. We had to pay back for videos. Um, we had to pay all that back, and before we could see anything, and that never happened. Um,
Gotcha.
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, for sure. Ronnie, I got a question for you, just off something that you were saying that has me like a little curious. You're talking about buying your guitars back from Mark. Like, did you sell them like to Mark or to the band, or did you sell them to something? I mean, if they're yours, shouldn't they just be given back to you?
Oh, no, no, no. I didn't make it clear earlier. I'd hawked them for drugs and alcohol.
Oh shit, gotcha,
Yeah,
bro.
back in when I was really strung out, I was doing heroin and coke and drinking. It was a mess. I was a mess. Um, yeah, I hawked 37 of my beautiful Gibson Fenders, and amplifiers. And this was before I went to um, my third rehab.
Gotcha.
Um, Mark came and got them out of two pawn shops.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha.
so I wasn't gonna, so I didn't lose them when I was in rehab.
Okay,
And this is like 4 years, well, 5 years ago now. And um, I've only gotten five or six of the guitars back, but I plan on getting them all back.
Gotcha.
as soon as I can.
Okay, I got you, bro. And I do apologize, Ronnie, because I wasn't
No,
really
it's all
trying to
right.
like
I didn't
pull
make it
that out
quick.
of you, bro. So I didn't want you to think that I was trying to dig outside of where I don't
No,
belong.
not at all. And and I want to compensate Mark for the amount of time and that he's given me to allow this process to take place, and I'm very grateful to him. There's some beautiful guitars
Nice.
and brand new Gibsons. It was really bad. I mean, when I was 8, 9 years old, I mean, I cherished that one guitar I had, and I cherish rock and roll too. But this is the devil's work, just
Yeah.
to come in and just pull it all away from me. I to let that happen is baffling. It is cunning, it's baffling, and it's insidious, as it states in the readings. But yeah, I plan on getting them back and compensating Mark for the time that
Very
he's
cool.
allowed me to have it.
Awesome. Right on. That's cool, man, for sure. Well, we're definitely stoked to get those parts of those kids of yours back to you. So that'll definitely be exciting. Angel, let's kick it back down to you, brother, for yourself and more of the fans. Fans also, it is last call, guys. So final questions and comments. We are going to circle back around. We will definitely get to any follow-up questions or comments for Ronnie, but it is the final segment coming up for fan questions. So go ahead and type those in. But go ahead, Angel. Take it away, brother.
Okay, speaking of kids, got a question from Jack Morris. My apologies, Jack. I saw your question earlier. I thought you was talking to your dad. My apologies. Jack Morris wants to know, what is your opinion on apple pie?
On apple pie, well,
Only my kid would ask that question. I'm just saying.
That's amazing.
Steve, I'm trying not to laugh. Oh,
You can.
You can. I'm dying. I think it's hysterical.
I think it's very original.
Don't ask me what my favorite
I wouldn't have
is.
thought of
well, I stopped eating apple pie after my mom passed away. It had to be mom's homemade apple pie. My opinion on apple pie today is it just doesn't match up to what mom made. What can I say? Actually, it's funny he mentioned that I saw apple pie at Aldi today. I went, nope, not getting that. Honestly, I did. No, no apple pie for me. It's not gonna make it. It's not gonna cut it.
it. So on the Blues
That's
Vultures
hilarious.
rider, no apple pie.
No
Got
apple pie.
No.
That's funny. Actually, the other thing that makes me laugh about that question is it just kind of reminds me of like when I was new in the press game and I was still kind of, paying my dues and building up my experience. One of the coolest opportunities that I did get is I got to interview Brad Whitford from Aerosmith.
Oh wow.
Today's his birthday.
Yes,
70th.
happy birthday, Brad, by the way. And one of the things that was very cool is so I saw Brad and Derek St. Holmes on the Whitford St. Holmes tour about 6 years ago when they opened up for Whitesnake in White Marsh, Maryland. And the very next night, they did a headlining show at Rams Head, Annapolis, as Whitford St. Holmes. And I interviewed Brad after the show, just on this little park bench with like his wife or his girlfriend in Annapolis. But part of what we ended up just simply talking about was angel food cake. And I was like, there's nothing cooler than this. Like, I'm literally sitting next to like the Brad Whitford just chilling on a park bench in Annapolis. And we're talking about angel food cake. There really might not be anything cooler than that.
That's so
Nope.
cool.
I'm a pecan fan.
I know that park bench, and I talked to him that same night on that same park. I was there that night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My friend Brent played drums that night. Brent Fitz.
Oh, Brent. Yeah. Brent Fitz. I know
Yeah.
Brent.
Brent played on a CD I made 20 years ago called Slimmer Twins, Lack of Luxury. And him and I have been friends ever since. And yeah, I was there that night. And actually, I talked to Brad probably after you talked to him, very brief. because I was talking to Brent. He goes, "Yeah, you can go down and talk to him." So very nice man. Today's
So
his birthday.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, 70th.
Wow. Happy birthday, Brad Whitford. Great
yeah.
guitar player.
Number 70 for Brad.
Yeah, thanks to one
Yeah.
of the fans that made a mention of it.
Yeah,
Wow.
very, very
So
cool.
that's small world, small time. Yeah, I was there that night. Great show.
Yeah,
Um, I had a blast. It was awesome.
so cool for sure. Yeah,
Very
man.
cool.
Angel,
Yep.
let me steer it back down to you, but I just had to chime in because when Jack put his question up there, it got me remembering my
Uh-huh.
own experience. So right back to you, Angel.
Okay, we're gonna go from talking about pies to guitars again. I'm sorry. Yes, I got a nasty mind. I'm sorry.
We don't
What?
ever,
At least I'm
we
being
don't
honest
ever
why I'm
turn down
laughing.
pie.
True that.
All right, from pie to guitars.
Okay.
Janet Miller, do you foresee giving music lessons again?
Yeah, I do. I do at a store called Victor Litz on Tuesdays. That's in Gaithersburg, Maryland. And I I've given them on. I've done like Zoom guitar lessons too. I just haven't been because I've been 6 months I was in rehab, and then the last and now 6 months at these recovery houses. It's kind of hard at the recovery house, but I do go to a facility, Victor Litz, and I give lessons on Tuesdays there. But yeah, I do. I will give lessons. It always keeps me keeps me brushed up on on a lot of different things. I find myself forgetting from time to time.
Nice.
Oh,
By the way, Angel, we all know that Lisa's your cherry pie, dude. Good luck now.
Well, like a second ago, from pies to music.
all right, here we go.
You seriously did that on purpose. So I cannot say the
A
next question with a
hundred
straight
percent,
face.
I did. A
You guys
hundred
are making me
percent, I did.
hungry.
I'm pretty sure Teresa's probably going, get to my fucking question already. Get your mind out the gutter. Okay, I'm going to do that. Question from Teresa. Which album of KIX do you think defines your style of playing? Because you and Brian have different styles. Easy to tell who is playing which parts.
Hmm. Um, I would say Hotwire. Um, that record was my first record that I did completely sober. I really took it seriously. Every every bit of it, maybe a little bit too much. Um, the reason I'm laughing is one time I think I even annoyed Donnie because he told one of the crew guys, he goes, I think I liked him better when he was drunk because I was being so meticulous about things, That happens, It's like you guys watched the movie Dirt. Remember when Nicky was like busting Vince Neil's chops about so what are we now, perfectionists now we're sober? Yeah, it can happen. Yeah, so balance. But yeah, Hotwire. Yeah, Hotwire. The guy that did the guitars with us, he was really cool. And unfortunately, Brian would remember his name, but I can't remember his name. He spent a lot of time with Brian and I getting sounds. And we recorded a lot of the guitars through the old board at Sunset Sound. Um, it's the old tube board um, that everybody made the records on. The Stones, the Doors, you name it, they were there, made recordings through. So we used that tube board, and I think you can definitely hear the two different guitar sounds and playing. My playing's a little dirtier. Brian's a little cleaner. He's more articulate with every note. I'm a little more crazy and frantic of a player. Um, yeah, that's the one. Hot Wire. Yep.
Nice.
That was a fun record to make, I must say. Except I blew out one of the guys, Andy Breuer's speaker. I didn't know Brian had been in before me, and I think I was using them. We had the heads inside where the board was, so I plugged into the Marshall. Didn't know Brian had plugged in into a
Oh,
box speaker cabinet before I left the night before. I go, man, this sounds good. And then no sound. There's probably a puff of smoke out there. It was like this vintage box cabinet. Oh man, that guy was mad when he came in there. He took his gear and he left. It really insulted me. I was like, oh, I'm sorry about your cabinet. That's a vintage box cabinet. That speaker can't be replaced. Well, I'm sure it has been replaced, but that's what happened. Oh my gosh. Anyway, he told me my gold top Les Paul wasn't real. So he had me worried about that for a while, but it is. Andy Brown uh, told me my gold top wasn't real. Oh, well, anyway, it's a guitar and I like it. It doesn't matter who made it. If
yep.
it sounds good, plays good, it's our guitar. Hey, what are you going to do? Keep playing it.
Now we're going to get to a question about family.
Oh,
I know we cover everything.
oh, that's great.
Question from Douglas Kennedy. Say, hey, Ronnie, I have a 5-year-old. I'll be 55 in April. As a fellow late in life dad, are there any thoughts or happy stories you can share about being a father?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, you're definitely gonna take it to heart. Like everything that they say, your kids say and do, you remember. And you, well, first off, for those, if anyone don't drink, don't use. Okay, now disclaimer, done with that. But yeah, the kids, I mean, we're done running around. We're done doing all the crazy stuff, you know. Um, and it's about the children, you know, and you're definitely gonna remember every bit of it, and you tell them you love them every day. That's what I do. Yeah, let them know you love them every day. Yep,
Amen to that.
Oh yeah.
I do it every day.
good. That's what we got to do.
You
At
can
And
least,
do it.
at
You,
least
you
minimal
teach them.
once.
You teach them too, as much as you can, and
Right.
you show them, you teach them, and you're nice, and you don't. I never raise my voice to my kids. I never. Um, if I get angry about something, I take it outside and scream or something, or I go blast through my amp for a couple minutes or something. But um, you just treat them like they're just the most precious thing on the planet, and they are. They are. They're our kids,
Damn
and
straight.
that's just how I sincerely mean that. Really.
That's awesome.
Yep.
question from Joan. She wants to know, Ronnie, would you write a book?
What time is it? I got a couple hours. You got a pen? No, yes, I would like to write a book.
Okay.
Um,
I got a
but the
pen.
problem is I don't know how to write. Um, I sign X for all my autographs, and I'm dyslexic. So no, I'm kidding, and I would like to write a book. Yeah, I've I've listened to a lot of great. I'm not a very good reader, but I can listen to audibles, and I've heard a lot of great books lately. And usually they are success stories, and that's because they're still alive to tell the tale. Um, if I may mention, I guess I can. Can I mention names of artists on here?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, well, of course, Joe Perry, great book. I actually read that and listened to the audible. Um, he's him and Brad Whitford and Keith and Richards and Mick Taylor and Ronnie Wood. They're like my go-tos and um but I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, and then I listened to Steven Tyler's and then and I learn a lot from these books too, and the audibles. Um, I read his book and listened to the audible. However, Duff McKagan's was very good. Um, Success story in that, and man, a couple times I had to turn it off, but I definitely listened to it. I mean, I didn't mean to turn it off, but I had to give it a break. It got so dark, and that was Nikki Sixx's. God bless him, and he's alive. And I mean, hats off to you, man. What a great songwriter, and all these guys, great songwriters, great artists. Um, um, yeah, that was wild. That was a wild ride. Yeah, listening to that book. It actually got so dark I had to turn it off and listen to some recovery stuff while the darkness was going on. I'm going to move this for a second and plug this phone in. I'm not going
No
to lose
problem.
you, I hope. All right, hold on.
That's all right.
Okay. Now, yeah, so, and then, yeah, Duff McKagan's and Ozzy. That was a trip. That was really, it was a blast listening to that. Pretty funny. Yeah, so to hear all these guys turn their lives around helps me. And I hope that tonight, if there's someone struggling out there, that maybe I can uh, be an attraction for someone to um, want to turn their lives around. Because there is no other way for guys like me. And um, listen to his audibles proves it too. I mean, those guys definitely would not be here today if they kept up what they were doing, and I wouldn't have been here today either if I had kept on. Um, and I am lucky to be here, really. Um, I mean, there were times I fell down and didn't know if I was getting back up, and but the insanity of it is you get back up and you go do it again, just like in
Mm.
that movie. Like I brought up Dirt earlier, he dies and then he's back doing it again. That's what we do because we're insane when we're under the influence. But yeah, I forgot my whole point here. But yeah, I would like to share in a book. I don't know if I want to write a book, but I do
Mm.
want to share in a book.
Mm.
Let's put it that way.
Mm.
Um, so if she's got pen and paper and tell her to call me, we get started. Oh man. Uh, I
Well,
think we're gonna need
you're
more than
also
that.
kind of starting with us, Ronnie. You've
Oh,
told
good.
some fantastic stories and some great
Okay,
advice and stuff. So you've started, I guess, part of your book right here.
Right.
good. Hey, I met some great guys here tonight, and I appreciate this,
Right.
man.
And
You guys are
Aaron
really cool.
and Aaron
Thank
Brown
you.
says you definitely helped me, man, and he really appreciates that. And Aaron,
Oh, okay.
we also celebrate you as
Oh,
well. And
wow.
glad you're here, and glad you're tuned in, and glad
That's
that
awesome.
Ronnie was able to help you.
That that
And
is so
right,
that is so good to hear. I
right.
mean, seriously.
And for everybody, we're all pulling for you. We're all one
Thank
big
you.
community when it comes to rock and roll, and
Oh,
we're all
wow.
pulling for everybody going through it. We're all pulling
Yeah,
for you.
and I'm pulling for everybody too. Yep.
Thank you to Joe Maffrey for making this happen.
Yeah, man.
Joe, I love you. No, I didn't say that, did I? Did I say Joe? I love him.
You like
I
him a lot.
like him a lot.
He doesn't need to know.
He's
All
probably
right.
got something smart. he's very, very good with quick comebacks. He's probably got one already. He's probably texting me one now. And thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
And Jennifer and Andrea, they want to know about Blue Vultures merchandise. Will there be any merchandise on Saturdays,
Um,
or where can they get it if not
oh,
Saturday?
oh, oh. Yes, there's going to be some there, and then if you need to know about that, just email bluesvultures at gmail.com, and I'll let you know what's going on. And but there's going to be some there until we make some money to buy more.
Cool.
That's it. Yeah.
Chris wants to know: did you ever sing lead on a song?
Um, Not in the KIX band. No, not in the KIX band. But with the Blues Vultures, yeah, I sing 90% of the stuff. Because nobody else will do it. No, I'm kidding. Because don't give him a mic. But yeah, no, I sing in the Blues Vultures, but no, never with KIX band. Oh
Chad
man.
wants to know, Ronnie, do you have a favorite band that you met at a show and thought they were really cool?
Oh, a favorite band. Yeah, a lot of favorite bands. Um, well, it has to go back to Aerosmith. What can I say? Um,
Nice.
I was privileged enough. Well, we were privileged enough to open for them 3 times, and um, they, yeah, first couple of times it was still in the foggy days, but then, then to be around, to be around for a few minutes when in sober days was very good as well. Much better scenario. Um, Different people. We're all different people. We're like two different entities. Animal versus person.
And
Mix a little animal. I'll take rock and roll animal, but not the dark druggy animal. That guy, he can just stay away forever. That guy can go away. Uh, but yeah.
Animal versus human. Did we just get the title of the next Blues Vultures album?
Or is
That
that
or
this book?
Or
yeah,
no?
or simply we call it the Jueo. Where I come from, there's it's half man, half wolf, and he's
Nice.
known as the Jueo.
Okay.
Some have said it was me on alcohol, but I don't claim that. But a couple of my friends know all about the Jueo.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's folklore, which is he resides in of all places where my family resides, Middletown, Maryland. That's where he was last seen, and yeah, so it could
Nice.
be the Dewey-O, Deway-O. Oh Lord,
I like it.
and
oh
and
God,
Andrea wants to know, can you play a little something since you have the guitar?
gosh, she wants everything. All right, I know. My phone won't stay. I don't know if my phone's gonna stay here. I'm like totally. I have it plugged in. Sorry, dear, I can't do it right now. Come see me play Saturday night.
So
Yeah, I'm afraid to lose these guys if I go playing guitar. I'm plugged in. I'm plugged up. I'm plugged out. Plugged on. Or I would. No, really.
I think I'm gonna love this question.
Okay.
Teresa wants to know, what has been the craziest thing a fan has done to meet you?
To me?
To meet
Who?
you. You.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't know because they already got to meet me, and I wasn't. Oh God, it's the craziest thing. Oh! In Japan, I came out. I'm sober and clean. I'm in Japan. It's our first tour there, and um, I have no idea how three Japanese girls got into my room while I'm taking a shower. But when I came out, there they were. Two of them, with my daughter on here. Oh my God. Two of them still clothed, one not. Okay. Now, I really hadn't met them before this happened. And that's how they met me. That's the craziest thing they did to meet me was break in my door somehow. I know I closed it. I didn't put the lock the chain across it, but um, that's what happened. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, honestly.
Awesome.
Oh man.
That's so cool.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
It's your favorite bass player, Stefan. I'm bad with names.
Stefan Adika. Oh my God. Yes. He is like Stefan Adika. Well, let me put it this way. Stefan and I played a lot of gigs together out west when I was living in Los Angeles. And he can play, you name a song, he can play, or you tell him what key it is, and he can figure it out in a matter of seconds. And at the same time, tell 10 jokes and keep a crowd entertained. Yes, he's my favorite. Love you, Stefan. Stefan Adika, my buddy. I just saw Stefan the other night. Yeah.
Okay,
The legendary.
I'm getting through the last round of fan questions. So this is from Wilma. Will the legendary Dwyo make an appearance on Saturday?
The Dueo? No, because I will not be drinking, and I can guarantee you that he will not be there. So, no, the Dueo will not be there. That's so funny. Oh, God.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
I'm kicking
This has
it back
been a
up.
hell of a show.
Yes,
Hell
it
yeah.
has. We covered everything. We covered family. We covered pie. We covered
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
showers that happened, hotel. We covered everything.
Apple pie.
Seriously.
Cherry pie.
No cherry pie.
So, which, what, who all here that I'm looking at plays in a band as of today? Which you
I have
guys?
no musical talent. That's why I work radio.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's sort of me, but
Okay.
like, I mean, I'm currently writing a series of albums of my own.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of doing session work. I'm in
Yeah.
talks with a couple of my friends that are coming through the area on tour to play on stage with them and stuff like that, whether it be singing
Uh-huh.
or bass. But I'm not with like any band.
Uh-huh.
I've really just kind of been in writing mode lately because I want to do these 3 like EPs over the next few years. So I've been writing
Good
the
for
lyrics
you.
to songs for that. So that's been my main focus.
Good for you.
Thanks,
I
man.
seriously, I get it. I
All right.
totally get it. Are we still online?
Yep.
Yep, we're still on
Are we
live.
still on? And yeah, I totally understand that. So persevere. That's how you
Yep.
get it done, right?
For
Yep.
sure. No,
Cool.
absolutely. And we'll definitely we'll stay in touch for sure too, man. Like absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
But
All
definitely.
right.
but let me
Appreciate it.
absolutely, man, for sure. But let me turn it back to the Blues Vultures show on Saturday. For
Okay.
fans that are coming out to that show who are unfamiliar with the Blues Vultures, what do they have to look forward to? How would you describe a Blues Vultures show?
Well, we are. It's 4 guys, and we we are we play we play 90% all original music, which is very Rolling Stones sounding. It's fun, good time rock and roll. It's it's just about cars, guitars, girls, fun stuff. It's got a little bit of a dark side to it, pick to the bone, but not a lot. So I mean, we're gonna we do a couple cover songs. We used to play like two long sets and put a bunch of cover songs, play a bunch of covers, but I didn't want to do that right now. It's too much. I just want to keep it simple and go out and play all originals, and that's what you're going to be hearing. All original songs from our first two CDs. And sorry, I'm not getting to play some of the new songs. We're just trying to remember the other songs first. It's been a while. It's a lot of chords. Well, I only know three, but I can play them in a couple different keys. I know A, B. Okay, but so yeah, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have a good time,
Nice.
and we're gonna have a great time. There's nothing. Everybody's gonna have fun. It's just about having fun and getting out, and you know, we've all been locked away, especially locked away. So,
Absolutely. What time? What time do you take the stage? Do you know offhand?
yes, 9:30,
Yep.
and we play till 11.
Yep. That's what's on the schedule. I think I
Yes,
saw.
absolutely. And it's in Edgewood, Maryland. It's outside of Baltimore.
Yep. I got the address right below.
Yep, it's right in my neck of the woods. I actually live in Harford County, so
Yep. 207 Edgewood Road. I got it right below for you map questers or
Thank
Google
you.
Mappers.
for sure. Well, Ronnie, we don't want to take up too much of your evening.
No,
man.
we appreciate you.
We got to thank you, brother. Like, thank you for spending some time with us. And our biggest thing on this show is that you felt really good about doing it, that you felt your time was respected, you enjoyed your questions, and that you simply had a great time.
I had a great time. I simply had a great time, and I'm grateful you guys asked me to be on. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
100%, Ronnie. Definitely.
If I pass the audition, will you have me back?
Absolutely.
Anytime. Yeah, there's no
100%.
question about it. You're welcome
you're-
anytime.
You're definitely welcome anytime. If you have
Okay.
anything that you want to talk about, promote, or even if you're just feeling like, hey, I just want to be on, just hit us up, bro, and we will make
Okay.
Or you want to say hi to the fans. They
or
love
you want to say hi to the
Okay.
fans. So
No.
you're definitely always welcome here, man. You're
All right.
you're one of us now, brother.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Thanks,
Absolutely.
guys.
For sure.
Thank you,
So,
Ron.
fans, make sure that you're hitting up Ronnie on all of the socials. Make sure you're following like the Blues Vultures. They have a great Facebook fan page, the Blues Vultures fans. You know, follow the KIX fan pages as well because they're always showing a lot of love to Ronnie. So
Yeah,
make sure
right.
that you guys are
check it
following
below.
everything. We got links right down below for you guys to check out. So definitely do that. And we appreciate you
awesome.
guys, as always, so much. Hit us up on all of our socials. Facebook and YouTube are the biggies because that's where we're live, but also Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter for all of our guest announcements. Speaking of guest announcements, next week is our 2-year anniversary show that you guys made happen. So thank you all so much. We will be making a guest announcement on Friday, as always, for that episode. So Metal Summoners, thank you guys so much for allowing us to have guys like Ronnie on our show to celebrate with you guys.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
definitely show love to him. Thank you for showing love to us. And, you know, support the music. Music's coming back. Get out to Edgewood on Saturday night. Support
Thanks,
Ronnie.
guys.
Get out of the house. Rock out with him. And just rock out in general. Metal Summoners, we love you. Thank you so much. On behalf of the Island Misfit Toys, for Bobby Dreyer, for Psycho Steve, for Angel Alamo. Again, thank you very much, Ronnie, for spending time with us. Guest
Thanks,
announcement
guys.
on Friday. We will see you guys on Wednesday. As always, you've been watching the Metal Summit.
All right. Thanks, guys.